Hey guys, so today we are doing a tutorial with the Lacura Smoky eyeshadow palette that I got at Aldi. Yesterday I did a look using the Nectar palette. It was a Christmas look if you're interested in seeing that. And so going forward we still have to do the number 2 and number 3 palettes, but I really think these palettes are worth $5.99 plus tax. So if you have them at your local Aldi store, I think they are worth picking up. However, I have to give you a little warning that people open them and swatch them or drop them or whatever. So check it before you buy it because it could be swatched, it could be damaged. One of the ones that I bought, the number 3 palette, the actual palette itself, these tabs that are in the cover are in the palette and broken off. And I had no choice but to take that one because it was either that or take one that was swatched. And because of germ reasons. Yes, you can sanitize a palette, but I don't know. I decided to just get the one that was broken and I keep it in the box so that it won't get dried out. But yeah, check them out before you buy them because I bought something else at Aldi yesterday that was not makeup. And I got home and I opened the box and the item was smashed and broken inside. And I don't know if they're going to refund my money or not because I don't know what their return policy is at Aldi. And I looked it up online, and if it's food, I guess they will take it back. But if it's not food, then it has to be in saleable condition. And this was smashed and broken, so it's not in saleable condition. I understand that it's not the store's fault that people go in and break things and ruin things, but it's also not my fault either. So I don't think I should get stuck with something that I can't use. So I'll let you know how I make out when I try to return that today. That should be interesting. Um, so anyway, let's get started on the video. And I have already applied a lot of products to my face in the interest of time. So if you want to see what anything is that I already have on, then just check the description box because everything will be listed there. Okay, so something that I do when I am trying out new palettes, I actually have already used this palette once before, but I didn't film it. But something I like to do is get an idea by looking at it what I want to do. And I know that I want to use the grays in this palette. These from here, maybe over to here, I want to use the grays. Because, I mean, it's called the Smoky palette, you know? So what I like to do is I like to swatch the colors that I'm most interested in. Actually, Fossil is sort of a taupey gray. I can tell by looking at that that might be the most promising one to use on my lids. Yeah, I used this palette once already, and let me tell you, I was pretty shocked at the pigmentation on these shadows. It ended up being much more pigmented than I expected it to be. Oh, did I take the... Take off the plastic off the mirror. Okay, so yeah, let's swatch some of these ones. So Fossil, which is that taupey gray. That's pretty. Okay, and then Thunder, wow, is the one right beside it. And then Slate is the one beside that. And then Chainmail is the one beside that. So yeah, these are really pigmented, you guys. And then Violet is the one besides that. And then Iron is the last of the gray type colors. Okay, so yeah, this I think is my best bet for the lid. And then the black I could use to darken up the outer V. And then for the crease, I'm thinking this. I don't know. Maybe that. Let's find out. Let's see how. Okay, that blends out all right. I was thinking that might be too dark, but it blends out fine. Now let me try. See, that one that's on my thumb is actually quite dark. Let me go clean this up and we'll come back and actually use the shadows. Yeah, it's always a good idea to do some swatches and then try blending some of them out if you're not sure like how they're going to perform or what the color is even going to look like on your skin. So yeah, I like to do that. All right, so we're going to start with a shader brush. Here's one here. And we're going to go into Fossil, which is a taupey gray. I'm going to pick up some of that on a shader brush. And I'm going to apply that to my lids. Oh, that's a beautiful color. Beautiful. So this palette is supposed to be a dupe for the Urban Decay Smoky palette, which I've never owned that palette. And the one I used yesterday was a dupe for the Naked Honey palette, and I've not ever owned that one either. For the Naked palettes, I had the original and the second and third one. And I never went beyond that. Okay, this shadow is not applying, like it's not blending out. It's like disappearing as I'm putting it on my eye. It's just kind of like disintegrating instead of applying. That's why I have to keep going back and taking more and more and more. It's applying better on my right eye than it is on my left. But keep in mind, I have been using concealer as an eyeshadow base, and so that could be part of the issue. I really should go back to using a dedicated eyeshadow primer, but the reason why I've been using concealer the last few weeks is my skin has been like really irritated, and I didn't want to put anything on it to make it more irritated, and sometimes eyeshadow primers can be very irritating to my eye skin. There are some that I can't use at all because it burns, like I can't use the Milani one. Okay, so looks like just need a little bit more now over here. All right, let's switch to a different style brush now, something like this. Now, the one that I said was I was going to make out best using, let me think now. I went like that, that. Okay, Slate, I think. I'm pretty sure Slate is the one that I said was going to work out best for the crease, I hope. Yeah. Oh, good. Now I'm just going to go very lightly here. This is a nice cool toned gray, but it isn't fighting like the color, the warmth of that lid shade. The lid shade is somewhat warm, but not overly so. It's kind of like a very neutral-ish color. Oh wow, this is blending so nice. So nice, you guys. This slate shade is a great crease shade. I'm just taking a little bit at a time because I want to try to be as precise as I can about the shape that I'm doing here. When you're doing your eyeshadow look, if you go in with a big fluffy blush and just start going, it's gonna just be a big mess. Take your time and go slow and just apply a small amount of product at a time. Because, yeah, if you put a whole bunch of product on a big fluffy brush, it's going to be a big mess and it's not going to end up looking the way you want it to. All right, so just going in a little bit at a time. Wow, this is really pigmented, but it's blending so nice. Okay, great. Now I'm going to grab another brush. By the way, these palettes all come with brushes, and every brush is different. They give you 4 completely different brushes in each palette. And if you lay all 4 brushes out together, you're going to end up with every size and shape of brush that you could possibly need. This one goes to a different palette. I didn't keep them separate, like as far as which brush went with which palette. Let me grab them. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Yeah, let me show you what I'm talking about. So these are the 4 brushes. See the top parts? That's the top. And then flip them around, they're double-sided brushes. So you get 4 completely different brushes. This one that I'm doing right now, this is what you get. So you get a big, huge brush on one side and you get a really small, like pencil brush on the other. All right, before I go any further, what I decided I wanted to do on my waterline was use this beautiful Maybelline Tattoo Studio Gel Pencil Liner in the shade Arctic Skies. I just think this is a gorgeous shade of blue, and blue and gray goes really nice together. My eye is watering like crazy. So this isn't depositing. It's not depositing any color at all because my eyes are just watering too much. So we'll have to come back to that. Okay, so let's go back to what I was doing then. Okay, so slate. Yeah, that is a great crease shade. Oh, that's blending so nice. Beautiful, matte, cool toned gray. Gray shadows do not get enough love, in my opinion, as neutrals go. Not many people seem to enjoy gray as an eyeshadow color. But if you have blue eyes, I think it's a stunning combination. My eyes aren't straight up blue. They're like a cross between blue and green. So I can get away with a lot of different eyeshadow colors because my eyes aren't straight blue or straight green. It makes it a lot easier to find complementary colors if I can lean one way or another. Okay, so let's grab another brush, a clean brush, and go into Mallow, which is the highlighter shade in the palette. And let's put that as the brow bone highlight and inner corner. All right, let's go back to the eyeliner and see if we can get that to deposit now. Well, that's a little better, but not by much. Okay, now let's go into Chainmail, which is the black. And I'm going to use the pencil brush side of the brush that came with this. And I did wash all those brushes before I put them back in my collection. We're going to smudge right along the lash line. That is very, very pigmented. Yikes. It's funny because it doesn't look that black in the palette, but when you actually apply it, it is. And it's blending okay. Okay. All right. Let's take yet another brush, another small-ish brush, and we're gonna just barely tap into Thunder. So this is got some shimmer in it, but it's pretty dark. But I want some definition in the corners. So we're going to blend that into the outer part of my eye here. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my shader brush and Fossil, pick up a little bit of Fossil and blend that into what I just did to kind of soften that up a little bit. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a small blending brush. Where is it? Right there, like this. And I'm going to take this right over the top of the crease shade and try to blend that out. There we go. Now I'm going to take it right on the edge. That black is really intense, so I'm just trying to blend this out a bit. Okay. Now I blended away too much there, so we're going to have to go back in. I'm just going to try to take what's left on the brush here. There we go. I ended up with a little bit of a blank space. Okay, good. All right, now we are going to try the new e.l.f. Lash Xtndr mascara. This is a tubing mascara, so I've never used a tubing mascara before, but from what I understand, at the end of the day when I take my makeup off, you just put warm water on your eyes and the mascara forms little tubes on your eyelashes, and you just kind of loosen it up and pull the little tubes off your eyes, which that's really strange. I'll be curious to see how that goes. First, I'm gonna curl my lashes. But yeah, anybody out there like tubing mascara? I guess people that like that, they really like it because it's so easy to remove. All right, let's take a look at this. Okay, there's the wand. And it doesn't, the product is not clumping around the wand. All right, here we go. I have not watched any YouTube videos yet. No, actually, that's not true. I watched one YouTube video where somebody used this, and they didn't know anything about tubing mascaras, and at the end of the video, they took it off and they didn't do it correctly, and it made a big mess on their eyes because they didn't know how to remove it. But that's the only video I've seen so far, so I don't even know what the general consensus is on this. Seems to be working well. It's coating my lashes nice and even. It's not a messy mascara. It's not depositing, you know, there's no clumps or anything like that. I'm getting length and separation. It's coating the lashes evenly and nicely. It's nice, nice. And I guess if you just keep going over it and over it, you can build it in terms of intensity. All right, let me look up so you can see what that looks like. So that looks pretty good, huh? So that is my Lacura Smoky look, and yes, that is definitely smoky. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. It helps my channel. And thanks for being here and watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.